Alright, so having this thing now for a couple of days and playing out here in the forest, trying to make a garden spot, leveling out an area, pulling up roots and stumps and stuff. I got some likes and some dislikes about this tractor. One of the things well, you already know pretty much everything I like about it. But some of the dislikes I'm finding out, the steering wheel is kind of low. It doesn't telescope up. So I find myself, I'm leaning over quite a bit. If that was telescoping or was just up, maybe, to like here, that would be a little more comfortable. But that's a small ticky-tacky complaint. The other thing is I am having an issue with the loader, and I'll cover that in a second. But one of the things is these tires down here, these front tires, they can get bound up in that loader bracket. You can see I'm kind of over some pretty harsh ground right here. It's all muddy and loose, uneven. I'm working on just leveling it out, taking dirt from the uphill side and putting it down here on the downhill side, just kind of making a little garden area. And twice now I've had the tire, both that one and that one, while I'm turning and the suspension is articulating, will actually get bound up in that loader bracket there. And so that's not very good, but you just got to watch it. Be careful that you're not hard over pushing on something that's bound up. You can break something. So the issue I'm having with the loader, let's see if I can do it. Well, it's up there so you can see. And I saw somebody else on YouTube had the same thing. So you go all the way over. Okay, that time it didn't do it. Let's see if it'll. I'm almost at an idle. I can pull it all the way down to an idle, but I don't like to run it just an idle. You pull it up just a little bit, just over 1,000 RPM. Sure, now it's not going to do it. What it was doing, it would come there and it would stop, and then it would go more without my hand. My hand is not moving. There, it just tightened up. So it was doing it, just wasn't doing it as bad. Watch there. And so when it does that, like I put it down on the ground. If you watch the indicator, put it down on the ground, it'll actually fold in. It'll curl in a little bit. So I've heard of that issue being a loader control valve issue. That the loader control valve on these LSs aren't that great, and they probably have to be replaced with something like a New Holland one or something like that. But it's working. It does it at lower or high RPM. It doesn't matter the RPM. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's like, well, it kind of sucks to dump. Well, here, let me take a scoop and I'll show it to you. Get all set. I'm trying to drive this thing one-handed now. Yeah, watch the tire get bound up pretty easy. Right there. Alright, so here's where I want to dump it. Now I'm going to try and get my hand in here too so you can see my hand. I'm just going to dump it. I'm going to raise it up a little bit so you can see that too. Now I can bang it. If I try banging it before it does that, you see that it's just kind of there. So what I was wanting to do is kind of bang out all the mud out of there. And I've driven tractors all my life. I've never had one that was so unresponsive and then get responsive. I just realized that my phone cut out again. But anyway, what I was saying was I've been driving tractors all my life, and I've never had something that unresponsive. So there, I mean, I just did this. There, you see that? If you watch the hook, just watch the bucket. When I go down, it curls the bucket instead of keeping it rigid. So when I try to pull this little bit of dirt back, it won't do it. The bucket clap closes up. You know, it rolls up on itself. So that's not good for back dragging. So all in all, so far after having this tractor a couple days, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. You can see it's moving a lot of dirt, done a lot of work. This was all forest, just like that out there. And I've come in here, I sawed the trees, I dug up the stumps, removed all the sod, and now I'm just trying to level it off a little bit. So it works, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. It firms up, it will get firm. You gotta wait, you gotta hold the loader control valve, you know, the controller over, you know, in this certain direction you want to go until it goes. So like there, you see it stopped. Now it's going. So that's not right. That's not accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Scott over at the dealership and see about, I don't know if that's a warranty thing or what. I know another YouTuber has got the same issue, and I don't remember what his fix was, but I gotta look into it. So I can't have that. So yeah, loader itself gets like a 2 out of 5 stars. The tractor overall gets a 4 out of 5. So there it is.